10 seconds gets the end of whatever you're writing, then we'll pause. Alright, pause where you are, please, and put your eyes up on the board. So I saw almost everyone had one quote that I definitely wanted you to pull out, so if you don't have this, please get it down, but if you did, then you can just leave what you have. So the first one was, I have no accurate knowledge of my age, never having seen any authentic record containing it. That's from page 19. So if you don't have that, please copy it down in the next 10 seconds. If you do have it, then please get ready to share another piece of evidence if you have another piece of evidence. And if you have another piece of evidence to share with us, please raise your hand in the next 5. 3, 2, and 1. Alright, other piece of evidence. Aaron?
My father was a white man.
Great. My father was white, which is what page?
First page, 17.
Great. That's on page 17. Other pieces of evidence that any of us have. Alright, flip to page 19, please. And on page 19, it talks about his birthday. What do we know about his birthday, Jabril? What does he know about his birthday? Asia?
He doesn't know his birthday.
Yeah, so he doesn't know his birthday, and he also says that no other slave that he knows of knows his birthday either. So he says, I do not remember to have ever met a slave who could tell of his birthday. And that was from 19. And then when you got that, please put your eyes up here. Question, comment?
He says that he doesn't know his birthday, but here says that his mother's, he didn't work, when his mother died, he was like about 7.
Yeah, so he knows like about how old he is, but he doesn't know exactly how old he is. Like he doesn't know the day that he was born. He knows that he was born like sometime in about 7 years ago, something like that. But most of us know exactly what day we were born, right? Okay. So why does he bring up other slaves when he's talking about his birthday? So if this is a memoir about himself, why does he refer to other slaves? Put your eyes on Asia, please.
To show how it's not just him, and it's not just the fact that he doesn't know what day he was born, but that to show that the slave, for some reason the slave masters didn't want the slaves to know their birthday.
And what was the reason that slave masters didn't want slaves to know their birthday? Go ahead, Jabril.
Because of the breaking down process.
Can you explain that to us?
Their mom said they had to beat them in order to get them
To get them to do what?
the master wants them to do.
Yeah, exactly. So they're taking the quote that I like to refer back to because I think it summarizes it really well, is taking the mind and keeping the body, and they're also taking the identity of the slaves. And it's not specific to Douglas. So why does Douglas choose to start his memoir in this way? rather than the way most other memoirs start, where we learn information including someone's exact birth date. Why is Douglas choosing to start his memoir by focusing on the fact that he doesn't know his birthday, and that that's not true only of him, but that that's true of most slaves who he encountered? Jalen?
I think that's because you don't really know.
What does he want us to walk away from that with?
What?
So is Douglas the only person who doesn't know his birthday?
No, others don't either.
What kind of people?
Slaves.
Yeah, in general, slaves don't know their birthdays. And why do the masters want to deprive that of the slaves, Jalen?
Oh, because they don't know their age. No, they don't. The masters don't want them to know nothing. So you just want them to be ignorant.
Yes, and so what's the point that Douglas wants us to walk away with, Solomon?
They were deprived of their, they were deprived of their knowledge of who they were.
Exactly. So the part of the text that'll tell you that is, have ever met a slave? Who could tell his birthday? And the way you said that, Solomon, was perfect. Douglas wants to emphasize that slaves were deprived of knowledge of themselves. Yep.
Where did the word slave come from?
It's a great question. I have no idea, but I would be happy to look that up for you and get back to you. And we're going to go to question 2 as soon as you've got that down. So once you've got that, you can raise your hand if you would like to read question 2. In 5, 3, 2, and 1. Go for it, Aaron.
Douglas' mother. How does Douglas describe his relationship? How does this relationship shape his knowledge of self and views of slavery?
Great. So we know that in our final writing prompt for writing about relationships, one of the relationships is the relationship he has with his mother. And this question is asking you how it shapes the way he thinks of him, or what he knows about himself, and the way he feels about slavery. I'm going to again give you 5 minutes to collect evidence and begin writing a response. I would look on page 20. That is a page that discusses the relationship he has with his mother. Please go ahead. Yes, Aaron, go. It's very loud. Yeah, it's page 18, I'm sorry. cameras off, be ready to share your evidence, please. Alright, Douglas's mother. What do we know about Douglas's mother? Jalen, then Jabril, then Aisha. Go ahead.
Oh, like I said, quote.
Yep, exactly.
She made a journey to see me at night, traveling the whole distance on foot after the performance on Friday.
She made her journey to see me in the night. Sorry, what's the rest?
Traveling the whole distance on foot.
Great. And that was the same one you had, right? Which part of that would I zoom in on? Jabril?
In the night, traveling the whole distance on foot.
Why would I zoom in on in the night and traveling the whole distance on foot? Talk to me about in the night, Solomon.
Well, she wasn't allowed to see her room
Great, she wasn't allowed, she couldn't ever see him during the day. Why?
because she was working and it said that she had to be on the field by sunrise or she would get late.
And what about traveling the whole distance on foot? Why would I zoom in on that, Aisha?
Mostly, they didn't have a source of transportation, so they had to walk.
Okay, and can you talk to me about what this has to do with the relationship between a mother and a child in slavery? So like what hardship does she have to go through in order to be able to even see her child?
She has to go see her child at night. She can't see him in the morning.
Yeah, so she has to go through long, hard travel to even see her child. Other quotes about his mother that people have. Solomon?
I said on page 18, very little communication ever took place between them.
Great. Very little communication ever took place. What does that tell us about the relationship with his mother and his knowledge of his self? So if we're thinking about his knowledge of his self, how does that quote give us some information into why he knows so little about himself? Who knows the most about you of anyone, Solomon? So if there was very little communication between you and your mother, how much would you know about yourself and your background? Yeah, so can you connect that to Douglas, please? How does this quote show us what his knowledge of self is?
His mother hadn't speak for him, so he didn't know who he was when he came.
Great. Didn't know who he was. You need to write this, sweetheart. Or where he came from. Final comment from Solomon, then we're going to go to the next page.
This kind of has a quote where it says, I was not allowed to be present during her illness. I had that buried.
Yes. Pretty much anything from page 18 about the mom would be perfectly fine to use. These are not the only quotes that you could use, but I just want to keep going. So we're going to stop at these ones, but if you have another one that you want to use later, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and flip the page, please. Read question 3 for us. Go, Jabril.
Douglas's father. How does Douglas describe this relationship? How does this relationship shape his knowledge of self and views on slavery?
Great, so same thing, knowledge of self, views on slavery. This time we're talking about his father really quickly, just because I know you guys all know this. What is the race of Douglas's father? Aaron?
He's white.
Great, so you're looking for quotes that have to do with his race and the relationship between Douglas and his father. Go ahead.
Age. 21.
I think so. It's right after his mom. Yeah, 21 is a good place to. And 19. to 18.